Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe, and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Yet again, we have, someone that has gone through our education and is here to talk about her experience. And she shared her age with us, as we've posted here on the headline. She's 62. She's kicked procrastination to the curb and now has a successful side hustle. But I'm even going to challenge her to say she has a successful business. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dave. Good morning.
How
Can
are
you hear
you?
me okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
How are you? You look wonderful in your
Thank
your
you.
background. It looks cozy there and looks wonderful. So, where are you calling in from, Jamie?
Well, I am outside of Dallas, Fort Worth, and actually between two little towns, but Venus, Texas.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like the planet, little tiny town between Venus and Maypearl, Texas, right out here in the middle of nowhere.
Just as
It,
long as it's not, it's not that other planet
that's
right
right.
between Venus and Pluto, right?
That's right. Oh my gosh.
So tell us what brought you to our world. And I'm assuming that, you are not an internet marketer, you are not a digital entrepreneur. And I don't know. Have you ever done anything like this in any way, shape, or form before? Tell us what led you to us.
Okay. So, when we came home for the pandemic, I've been in the I was in the corporate world for 40 years.
Hmm.
And so when we came home for the pandemic, we started scrolling on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, look at these people!" I started following people that were watching them become successful, and so I knew I was going to get ready to retire because I thought, "Oh my gosh, I love working from home. I don't want to ever go back to office. I'm sick of 9 to 5." I'd done MLMs, a lot of MLMs,
Mm.
uh, but I'd never done anything online. And
Okay.
I'm like, but I'm watching these people do it. And I came across something about side hustles because I knew when I retired, I was going to need some extra income.
Hmm.
So I thought, okay, side hustle. These are great side hustles. So I started just looking at different side hustles, which led me to the course. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is how they do it. It opened up. I have skills, I've got 40 years of corporate experience.
Hmm.
And I found out this education that I got allowed me the ability to take my skills and incorporate it into an online business. Yes, it is a business because
Mm.
I do treat it as one, even though
Yeah.
it's a part-time business right now.
Sure.
But that was in October. Well, actually, I took the uh, what is it in the day? Decade in a Day, July 1st,
Okay.
and I didn't do anything with it until October 13th.
Right.
And I was this close to like, oh, and I was like, no, you're going to do it. I have a lot of freelancers in my family, and they
Uh-huh.
encouraged me. They're like, what have you got to lose? Give it 6 months, a year, and then see what happens.
Hmm.
And there were so many times along the way. It's just like y'all talk about. You have that valley of despair, when you're
Yeah.
sitting at 500 followers for 30 days and no leads. But I didn't give up. I kept going. And then I started but then I changed the way that I do things. I started
Okay.
doing it my way, using my own voice, and instead of trying to copy these people that are making five figures and have done it for a long time. It's like, let's
Uh-huh.
take a step back.
Right.
And I don't post every day. I don't post. That's too much pressure for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to work that hard. I'm done working
Mm.
hard.
I got
That's
you.
what I love about this is you don't have to
Yeah.
work hard.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
That's
want to make a lot, I mean, 5 figures a month, and all, yes, you do. You do have to work hard, but if you want a great little
right.
side hustle with steady little income, or
There you go.
4 figures a month, I'm good with that. That's not nothing
Yeah.
to.
And
So
I think there's nothing. Well, that's wonderful, and welcome to our community, and it's incredible, how many different walks of life people can come from to ultimately end up here and think that it's really cool. I mean, I'm always kind of blown away by that because I think that's cool, because I think what we're doing here is really cool. And sometimes, you know, well, when somebody really gets it and is like, yeah, yeah, I've done lots of MLMs before. I've of course had legitimate jobs. Um, this is really cool. You don't have to go and recruit friends and family.
Mm-mm.
You learn real skills that, quite frankly, if you had to completely pivot tomorrow and say, you know what? Oh my gosh, all this whatever I'm promoting today disappeared. Now all of a sudden, oh gosh, I'm gonna go. Somebody's holding a gun to my head and saying, you must take your corporate experience and package it into a valuable training course that you can sell. If somebody held a gun to your head, you now have the skills to be able to do that if you had to do that, or if, of course, you wanted to do that. If
and
nobody would
and I
force
do
you.
want, I haven't even, I've been only doing this for 6 months, a little over 6 months. I haven't even scratched the surface of all the other business opportunities that are available. You know,
Yeah.
my brother's an artist, and I want to help him create a digital course, an online
Mm,
course. I was like, you could do
yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
so there's so many, and it's cheaper. I tell people all the time, it's cheaper than a semester of college. You can get
Mm.
an education that can lead you to so many opportunities, and it's less than a semester of college. I even made a TikTok video about it and showed some numbers.
Now, did
And
you
this
go
is
to
great.
college? You have a degree?
I do have a degree. I do.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do
that's a
this,
lot
but I didn't
more.
get it till I was 46 years old. So
Do you have a bachelor's, a master's,
I
a
have
PhD?
just a bachelor's in business.
Okay.
That was
Well,
enough for
I mean,
me.
that's hey, it's a lot more credible coming from you than it is coming from me, because you actually have a degree. I don't have a degree. So that's why I asked that question. I mean, I know my lane, and coming from you, everybody hear that? That's somebody who went to college and who has the degree. And that's a powerful statement. I do feel a little bit guilty when somebody like we've had a lot of younger people who've come on, and I've talked to them, and of course they're in our community, but I'll talk to them on the show, and and you know they'll be like, yeah, I'm like halfway into my college, but I want to drop out and I want to do this full time. And part of me is like, I know, I get it. Like, I understand why you want to do that. And part of me is
Yeah.
like, oh shit, like, I hope their parents don't, but anyways, they're adults, so it doesn't matter. I mean, they're at this point, these people are 19, 20, 21 years old. But in many ways, I'm actually grateful that my parents didn't go into massive debt or something to put me through college. Um, and then I end up not using it. Not saying it's not a valuable experience, but man, I some days thank God that I was a high school dropout and didn't go down that path of almost, if we think about it, and I know this is dramatic, but it's almost like a conveyor belt of human beings that are just getting pumped from high school into, junior community and university colleges all over the country. And it's sort of a system, right?
Hmm.
And and there's a lot of profit in it, people. Lot of
Lot,
profit,
a
lot
lot.
of money, moolah, greenbacks. Yeah.
To make you a
Those
good little citizen and go get a nice little
mm,
corporate job and put
yes.
in your,
Pay your
40
taxes,
years.
pay
Oh
pay
yeah.
some pay some taxes, you know.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. But I'm
yeah,
done with
so
all that.
I'm almost in a way thankful that I don't have to reverse a lot of that stuff that is so what I'd like to ask you is what advice can you give to people what is different from being an employee to being an entrepreneur in your eyes? And what advice could you give to people about how you have to show up differently?
Well, you've got to show. No one's going to tell you what to do. And I find that with a lot of people, when they say they want to do this, but they want someone to tell them what they want to be an employee. You're not an employee. It is a business, and this is your business. One of my mentors said to me, we were talking about posting because I really don't like posting two or three times a day. I can barely post 2 or 3 times a week, let alone 2 or 3 times a day. And so she said, at the end of the day, it's your business and you can do whatever you want to. And that was, wow, my epiphany. And
Mm,
so I did. Listen, social media is a gigantic pie and you can carve out your slice of it any way you want to, but only you can do that. Your skills and you are unique to you. So you need
mm,
to find out what your skills are. And if you don't have skills, you need to get some skills and
mm.
how you can parlay that online, because it's a huge, huge online world out there and there's room for everybody to do it however they want to. I would say don't quit. I would say make more than one channel. I have lots of channels. I
Yeah,
even
I noticed
had
that. You have 3 different TikTok accounts.
uh-huh,
We're gonna show one here,
one.
Mimi recommends, but you
Uh-huh.
you have 3. Yeah, so say more about that.
Well, this particular channel was really slow to grow and I got frustrated. And
Mhm,
so I was talking to someone, they're like, just make another channel. So I made
mm,
several other channels and some
mm,
of them took off and I lost I dropped the other ones. I made one from taking the blueprints, watching Matt in the Blueprints Weekly. I made one
mhm,
account I didn't even tell y'all about that, where I never used my voice and I've never used my face. And I have
mm.
over 1,000 followers in that account. I'm just looking for the right product to put with that account. So
Nice,
there's
good
a
for
lot
you.
of ways to approach this.
Yeah.
So I made 3 different accounts and I post, listen, I repost. My on this account that you're looking at here, my most viewed video was a repost. I was tired. I didn't want to post anything. So I scrolled back and found a video that had 54 views on it.
Mm,
Re-edited it because I use a video editor. I'm not a slave to TikTok. I do all of my
mm,
videos outside of TikTok.
really?
Revamped it, reposted it, and it's got over 200,000 views today. So don't be afraid to repost. Don't be
That
afraid to um, use the same video but use different words. You really
mm,
have to use your own voice at some point. You could do like fluff ones where you are, point at the camera and just it's just music and just words.
yeah,
You're really not going to you might get some leads, but you're probably not going to get anything from that. You really at some point are going to have to use your voice, tell your
yeah,
story and do it your way, and then you'll attract the people. I don't have a huge following, and that's okay, because I've seen some of my mentors with huge followings, and we're all one community guideline away from violation from oblivion.
yeah,
So you need another account just in case.
yeah.
I've had the same video on one account get a community guideline violation and not get a community guideline violation on another account. Same exact video.
So there's no rhyme or reason. People need not freak out about this kind of
Don't
stuff.
freak out.
You're saying, now I don't want to get lost in the weeds, folks. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I want to make sure that everybody's dialed into what's being said right now. Okay. We'll make sure that you have all Mimi's links and you can well, Jamie, it must be Mimi's
That's okay.
your pen name.
It's
Uh who knows? Maybe we should just call you Mimi because everybody knows you as Mimi, anyways. But
that's
anyway,
fine. Yeah. Or side
Jamie,
hustle chick. I'm like the side hustle chick.
there you go, side hustle chick. And you know what? Hey, you know what? You're embracing that, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with the side hustle. I know that I said, hey, say call it your business at the beat, but I'm going to retract that. I mean, if owning it and even you being retired, you're actually more showing up to this really as a true side hustle versus a business. I mean, you want a side hustle. You don't really want a business. However, I like how you're treating it like a business, because you are doing it consistently, and you really seem to understand that. Oh, okay. A blue jay just flew into my window and is now sitting on my car, scratching probably my. These birds have no respect here in Florida. Um, but what I really notice about you, Jamie, is that you really don't let things bog you down. I mean, it's almost like you immediately. Have you ever seen an ant? Have you ever seen an ant? You try to block it and it immediately just tries to go another way. Now, some animals will roll over and play dead. Some will lay down. Some will, cower back, get afraid, back up. But an ant will just, yeah, will just keep going, just keep going. And you're like an ant. You're like, you just won't. So can you tell us more about that? And have you always been like that? And how valuable is that one piece? Can you even name it for us? What do you call that? How
I
valuable is that to you? And what is
I
that?
I have a lot of confidence. I would say if you have problems speaking, I was a Toastmaster. So I'm not afraid to get up and talk to people. And when I started out my channel originally, my target audience was admins because I was an admin assistant to high level executives. So I worked in the boardroom, I was assistant to CEOs and presidents and event planner. So I'm used to being in charge of things.
Mhm,
Um, so that's where my confidence comes from.
mhm.
And I don't have a problem. I have a challenge and you've got to pivot. So back to what I was talking about. My first target audience was administrative assistants. That was getting me nowhere. And I pivoted. I've pivoted
Yeah.
several times. You can go back to my videos and see how I've changed.
Why do
And
you
that's
think
what
that was getting you nowhere? I want to ask you that. And how did you pivot so fast?
well,
Because that's a skill.
I think because admins, they're interested, but I wasn't really getting any leads.
Mm.
And I
They
don't
they
think
might
I
be
was
interested, but are
really,
they motivated? They're
they're
not
not
business
motivated. They're
opportunity
afraid.
seekers. Yeah. They
You've
want
got,
security. They want security,
mm-hmm,
right? Like, and
mm-hmm.
and they're too skeptical, right? Sometimes corporate people are just too skeptical.
They are, and they really are. I was, and I
Yeah.
did a lot of research before because I've been on a lot of MLMs and I've looked at other things online. This wasn't the
And this
only
is
thing
not
that
an
I looked
MLM, in
at.
case anybody's new or is
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
wondering.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I looked at other things that were MLMs. This
Yeah.
is a real education. This is a top rate education that when you go to college, you're not going to get your books and all your courses online forever. That's the value that you get with this education
Yeah.
is that, and you can go back to the videos and watch other people. And that's one thing I learned: watch other people in this community, get connected into the community, watch it because you're going to connect with certain people are going to connect with you. I'm not going to resonate with 18-year-old guys. I'm going to resonate with moms, retired women, retired men. Obviously, I went from 95% women to 80% women, 20% men in my analytics. You need to learn how
Mm.
to look at your analytics. That will help you pivot because look at what's working.
Yeah.
Look at your end. That's one thing you need to learn. The skills, back to skills that you need to learn. If you don't know those skills, you need to find them, learn them, find somebody else that learns them. And as Matt says, sometimes you just got to figure it out. And
Boy, I can
that's
tell you really utilize the stuff that you paid for because
mhm,
you've interacted with Matt a lot, and I know where Matt interacts with our clients, and that's on Decade in a Day. That's on those Thursday blueprint coaching calls.
mhm,
So I can really tell also, my friends, I just want to point out that I can really, really tell that you have engaged and actually used the resources that you paid for, that are
mhm,
available here. And I would even bet you sound like somebody who's really used them, as much or maybe more than just about anybody. And I still bet you haven't tapped all of the information and resources, and
Mm-mm.
there's so much more to go through just
Mhm.
because we're in our 6th or 7th year or something here, and just all of the training that we've compiled and then sort of curated. It's a lot. We try to find a balance of not just slapping endless replays of just stuff, but trying to be somewhat organized with it while still making sure that our decade in a day and our blueprint coaching program as a whole is relevant and up to date, and we're actually talking about stuff I think that's one of the most dynamic things. And I'm not trying to ride the pat us on the back train here, but just for 1 second, I'll say that I think one of the most badass things, now that's a technical professional term, about Legendary and what everybody here has created is, man, we are relevant and in the know about what works, actually really works for the brand new person, the average person. How can you
Mhm.
actually get results online? In our community is tapped into that. And it's not just me with, up on the stage with the sleight of hand. No, this is what, is working right now. And then everybody's like, okay, keep trusting. It's everybody collaborating, coming on these wake up shows. Our coaching calls are interactive. And I, you know, I'm really excited for you because I know that I was also in a lot of, various things in the past, MLMs, different biz ops, different, things. And a retired person like yourself, male or female, 62, coming in, not incredibly well versed on social media. It
Mm-mm.
was hard for you to get results. It just was
Yeah.
because your choices are either basically MLM and kind of recruit and sell to friends and family, or get online and try to set up a drop shipping or an e-commerce. And I'm going to tell you something. That's a whole different ball game, in a
Mhm.
lot of money in advertising, in a lot of BS. And then you run into a
Mhm.
pandemic and you can't ship crap you can't ship shit anyways from China over here to your customers, and then refunds catch up, and oh, blah blah blah. It's just a mess. So what say you about the difference in, I think, the timing right now, of how I don't want to say easy, but man, it's achievable for anybody to come online and get results right now, and they can learn how here. Isn't that different than so many of the things that you've tried in the past, where everybody keeps coming to the motivational seminars to keep getting pumped up to stay in, but no, but it's just like faith, like keep coming and sticking around on faith, because and you see the same
Mhm.
5 people up on stage training all the time, and eventually you're like, "Okay, I gotta get out of here."
Well, I would also say that the masterminds also help a lot. Those are incredible. I wanted to come to this one, but I wasn't able to come to this one. So, if you have that access to that and watch those, watch the people that are successful. That will give you motivation. Right now, you know, this is 2022. We're just getting started. There's so many ways you can go. And the opportunity that you can get. One reason I procrastinated was I was trying to go through all the material. It's like I will never get through all. I've got to take action. And that's what you need to get your skills, and you need to take action. You need to be consistent, but you can do it your way. When I say consistent, that doesn't mean post 5 or 6 times a day. I just mean overall, it's taken me 6 months to get where I'm at today. Could I have gotten there faster if I was posted more? Probably, but you can do it your way. That is the beauty of this business model, is you can do it however you want to do it, but you got to show up and you have to put in the work and you have to put in the effort. No one's going to tell you what to do.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, and you really can do it your own way. That's a very big difference between a lot of things that I had done in the past, various side hustles or businesses. There was always so much shame and pressure to do it a certain way. And
Mhm.
also I know that a lot of people felt shame. They felt shameful because they weren't producing as much. And the truth here is that, and I said this yesterday to people on a coaching call. I once offered personal coaching here, a group coaching program, and we've since um, we don't offer that anymore because it's just the time. I don't have the time to do it,
Mhm.
quite frankly. So I just finished up the final call yesterday from a group that started a year ago, and I worked with them for a year. And one of the things that I said, and I think I also said this on yesterday's wake up show, I said, here's how I determine whether somebody stays in my life or not, is whether when I make a mistake or I don't do what they want or whatever, do they roll their eyes and go, or do they go, stay in the game, keep going, let's go, like a good coach does on the side of the basketball court or
Mhm.
whatever. And so I think the reason why I told that story is that in how I determine whether somebody should stay in my life or not as I continue to become more successful is because it's also important that a community, when you're learning new skills, a business community, when you're learning new skills and you're starting from scratch, is going to encourage you, and you're not going to feel pressure or shame to do it a certain way, and like there's something wrong with you if it doesn't happen super fast. This is a process that each of us,
Mhm.
like you said, Jamie, each of us has the freedom really to take the skills and apply them out there in a multitude of ways. And you can start out by modeling other people. You can branch off and begin to find your own voice. You can ease into it. There's so many different, and there's lots of different platforms. So you can focus more on written content or you can focus on video content. And there's, you can find how you can live up to your potential here. You can do that. And I like how you're pointing that out, because in other places that I've worked, both jobs and other business opportunities, there was a lot of shame and pressure to do it a certain way. And when it didn't work out quickly, I was made to feel like it was my fault. And I don't want that. And I don't want any of our members and students to feel that way. So I like that you're pointing that out. And Jamie, that's got to feel good to know that you've got both creative freedom, but also time freedom that nobody's. So how do you hold yourself accountable if you have all, this freedom and you're enjoying it and you know that you have it? How do you hold yourself accountable? And tell us a little bit about, what does a day look like? Just a nutshell version of, you get up and how do you integrate your side hustle into your life?
Well, I had actually, I thought I'd have a lot more free time when I retired, and it's been actually the opposite. Uh, so I actually got a planner, and I write down, it's like, okay, I look at my videos, and if a video is doing really good, I'll just let it run. And if it's not doing very good, I'm like, okay, I got to make another video. So today I'm going to get up and make a video, and I'll work that in, usually in the morning, and then I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's see how it does for the rest of the day. Or interact with people that reach out to me. I do get emails. I go, I have different campaigns. When someone goes to a certain link, I might switch them to a different campaign. So we haven't talked about that. Emailing is a huge opportunity to reach out to people. So,
Yeah.
and my writing skills are on point. So I have no, again, I've taken my skills and used them
Yeah.
for what I want to do. And
Yeah.
then uh, I look at what other people are doing. I usually watch Wake Up Legendary, see what other people are doing. Go and look, yes, and go and look at their channels. because there's so many people, there's so many different ways to do something. I actually accidentally found myself, I'm on a search somewhere on TikTok. I was like, that's my video that just came up in the search. I kept wondering why I wasn't, where I was getting leads, because I wasn't posting on that channel. I was like, where are
Mm,
these leads coming from?
yeah.
So don't be afraid to try something new. If you're not getting leads and you're not getting people signing up for your email, try something new. That's
Mm,
your cue. You need to try something different. And don't
I
be
agree.
afraid to try something different. Don't be afraid to fail. You know, I always think of
Isn't this business
Milton.
all Oh,
Pardon?
go ahead. No, finish that thought.
Well, Milton Hershey Bar, he tried seven candy companies before he got it right.
Mm.
If he had stopped at one, two, three, four, five, we would never. He created a whole town. So,
Every successful entrepreneur has a story like that.
mhm.
Every every successful entrepreneur. You do too. You do too. You know, we love to tell stories about other people, but the magic comes when you can really look at, what you've gone through and what you've done leading up to just this very moment in your life, and you learn how to tell that story, and you learn how to tell micro stories within that larger story, and you learn how to use those little stories in your content and in your so when people are watching your content, they can get to know you. They can trust you. It's not a mirage. It's you actually allowing people to build a bond and a relationship with you, because it is true that people do business with people that they like, with people that make them feel good, with people that it's so funny. I have you know I have this Instagram profile that's just for watches. It's just, it's I'm weird with social media. I'm real I haven't posted on Instagram or Facebook in like my personal accounts in like well over a year. I just stopped doing that. I just stopped posting in places that I wasn't focused on. Um and of course, I do Wake Up Legendary, and we post on Legendary Marketer and YouTube and all these other places. Those are the places that I need to focus on posting. But I haven't posted on my personal profiles, um, but I got a little secret Instagram account that just has, I follow a couple of hundred people, and I just look at, watches every now and then. But anyways, I there's this random, I've got 200 friends, and I've bought a few things from a couple of people, little straps, things that people make, little keychains, things that people make, little, things. I've done. Why did I buy those little things from people? Those little, these 200 people that I follow on this little account, I've probably spent, 6-7 grand on little things. And it's because I like them. It's because I just randomly found them online, and they engaged me, and I like them, and I trust them. I like their work. I was interested in what they had to say. And that's how business is done nowadays, folks. Absolutely. I'm still going to wherever, large companies, and I'm still buying from Amazon and stuff like that, but I'm also buying from regular people, and I'd prefer it. I'd prefer to buy from somebody that I can actually. And nowadays, Jamie, I won't buy from a business unless I have a relationship with a salesperson at the company. So,
Mhm.
like, for example, I was just in Miami for my anniversary, and I met this I my wife and I went shopping, and we went in David Yurman, little jewelry place, and it's a big brand. But I met a lady, and she followed up with me and has been sending my wife and I stuff, and I got an engraved little charm with my kid's name on it, and she's been texting me, and like it's a personal, like, personalized
Mhm.
relationship, and I just don't think people understand how powerful that is, and how much the direction of our marketplace and economy is going in that direction. and how important it is to have a presence online. Even if you only have a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand followers, you have no idea how much and what you can do with that. And you were just saying that you have a 4-figure income that's been created from scratch with a few profiles that have a few hundred or a few thousand followers on it, right, Jamie?
That's right. And going live is so important. That is really how you build. I get so many comments when I go live that they appreciate my honesty. They appreciate what I have to say. And I get a lot of leads and followers when I go live.
So
It's
when did you start going live? Have you and I'm sorry, how long have you been doing this all together? Remind me again.
since October of 21. So
Okay,
6 months.
so
It'd be,
seven,
well, the 13th would be
seven.
7 months.
Okay,
So
so 7 months. And how long have you been going live for?
I've only gone live maybe a half a dozen times,
Oh, okay. Well,
once a
is that
week,
spread
maybe.
out over a long time, or is
No,
that
I've only been going live for like 6 weeks, like
okay?
once a week, maybe twice, not even
So, but you're
twice a
getting a
week.
lot of leads when you go live, and you're
Mhm.
finding that it's worth the time.
It is, if, especially that we go back to analytics. Look when your followers are on the best time for you to go live.
Mhm,
And you can see when is the best time for you to go live. Mine is 8 o'clock at night.
mm.
And I'll get on there and I'll still, all these people start coming in. I'll talk for 2 hours. I'll finally have to say, I got to go. I can't talk anymore.
So everybody would ask, "What do you talk about?"
I talk about the same things I've talked about here. I talked about how I freelance and how I got started. I talk about the course that I took and how I got the skills that I needed because I'm 62 years old. I didn't know anything about posting online.
Mm,
And so I needed those skills. I have a lot of corporate skills, business skills, but I had zero online skills. And that's what I loved about Legendary is it gave me everything I needed to bridge my skills, to bring me online, to create the business how I want to create it. I'm
mm.
very, very, it changed my life. It changed my life. And
Wow,
I'm so thankful I found
wow,
this community.
wow. That's really incredible, and I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank
Um,
you.
you deserve it, and I can tell that you're going to help a lot of people. You're going to help a lot of people because it wouldn't matter what niche you were in. I mean, I'm grateful that you are wanting to stick around and carry this message and this information to other people. That's great. I know that you would do well no matter what niche you're in. And I also love and want to point out that, each one of us, what we did leading up to this point, or what we've done in the past, we can apply that experience and those skills here. We have both survival skills, we have job skills, communication skills. You mentioned your writing. There's a lot of you who are listening that have if you were to grade your writing skills compared to mine or many others when we started, mine were horrible. A lot of you can write really well. You just need to learn how to write more persuasively and write copy versus writing corporate emails. But you have the skill sets there. You get it. A few tweaks, a few adjustments. But at the end of the day, it's not much. It's just a different platform, right, Jamie? I mean, it's not a
Mhm.
boardroom. It's your room with a phone sitting in front of you, but it's still human beings. They still feel the same ways and react the same ways, like the same things, don't they? And one of the things that I like to remind people of is this is not so different than anything you've always done in your life. It's a new thing, so there's going to get some getting used to, and it's people. And haven't you been interacting and meeting and dealing with and convincing and manipulating? And we come on, we I mean, come on, people. You ain't a saint. You've been doing your thing, getting your needs met, getting what you want, right? Your
That's
whole
right.
damn life. And now you come on here and, hey, look, a lot of things are at stake. If you want to use all your skills and put them all on the table, and when we say skills, I mean all your skills. It takes everything. Don't be afraid to use everything, right? I mean, listen, Jamie, I was in the car this morning with my 6-year-old, and she's really artistic and musical, and she likes to dance, and she likes to sing, and she likes to perform, right? And she's really passionate, and she's got big feelings. And we were listening to a song, and an F bomb came out, and I had a moment, I had a decision to make. Did I want to taboo that? Did I want to shame her for wanting to listen to that song or shut it off, right? Or did I want to try to focus and nurture the passion? Did I want to try to focus and nurture the art? Did I say, hey, look, we've already talked about bad words, or cuss words. We know that those, we don't repeat those, and you're not old enough. And when you're adult, you say whatever you want. But right now, okay, and it's clear. So in that moment, I decide, and I always try to do this: focus on the passion, focus on the art, focus on what's good, focus on building yourself and others up. And you know what? My hope is that, she's going to turn into a child that everything in an adult, that every situation she can put it all on the table, all of her past experience, and put it all on the table, in learn how to embrace new things. And my friends, this is what I want for all of you the same way: is you're watching this fire and this passion in Jamie's belly, and I can feel it. And yes, it's new, and yes, it's awkward, and yes, it feels uncomfortable, but I can assure you that you have the skills, that you have the experience, and that, you know what? There's a lot of things that you can shame and blame and get hung up on, just like I could have this morning got hung up on the F bomb as my child's passionately singing and performing in the back seat to this song. But what I instead would invite you to look at is all the passion and opportunity and excitement that you have, and just keep going. Know that if you make a bad or a wrong decision, there's another decision that you can make right immediately after that to remedy it. Nothing is ever set in stone, you know. And Jamie, I think that, you've I hope that what I just said encapsulates our interview and sort of how you also view stepping into this business.
It does. It does. And you just need to be you and keep going. Try something new. Don't be afraid to try something new, and don't stop, because you're never it's not failure until you quit, until you give up. You're never a
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah.
You're never a failure. Just keep going.
Well, all right, Jamie, aka Mimi. Um, we'll be watching you and hopefully talking to you again here real soon. All right.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Have a great mastermind this weekend.
All right. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you and hopefully meet you real soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, you can go and follow Jamie at Mimi Recommends. She does have a couple of other TikTok profiles. Um, let's see here. I can get them up. Actually, I've already got them up, so I'll just share my screen here real quick. All right, my friends, like Jamie just said, we do have a mastermind coming up this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing those of you who are going to be in Orlando there. All right, this is her first profile. It's Mimi Recommends. All right, Mimi Recommends. Then her second one is Mimi Markets Online. And her third one is Digital Marketing Mimi. Digital Marketing Mimi. And then she's got a YouTube channel, Mimi Makes Money Online. Mimi Makes Money Online. And a Instagram, Mimi underscore recommends. Mimi underscore recommends. So you can get plugged in, follow along with her journey, share, interact, And remember that, one of the best ways that we can support each other out there in the marketplace, out there on social media, is by simply leaving encouraging comments, making others look good. Are you the type of person that makes people look good, or do you make people look bad? Right? Or do you not notice people whatsoever? Do you not make people feel seen? I was sitting, one of the most valuable pieces of wisdom that I've ever received was sitting in an auditorium full of about 10,000 women and about 5 men. And it was at an Oprah Winfrey event. I went with my wife, and she said, people want to feel seen, heard, and understood. And that changed my life, because in that moment, that was exactly, I was searching. I was like, what really, marketing is not just about converting people. Marketing is not just about saying the slick thing and, oh, that's, y- 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 or the big bait and switch, right? Making the big promise or anything like that. Marketing, to me, is about making people feel seen, heard, and understood, and then putting a solution in front of that problem that they're having. But you got to make them feel seen, heard, and understood. And so yeah, I have no idea what the hell I was talking about before that. But that I hope was valuable to you. But anyways, um, man, I was talking about supporting Jamie, and supporting other people inside of this community. One of the things that you can do when you're new is you can focus on making other people feel seen, heard, and understood. And you can do that with other members right here in this community. When you find somebody and you listen to a Wake Up Legendary show and you go and follow them on social media, so you're building your network right here from this community. Then when you see that person's content, when you're sitting there doing your research, make them feel seen, make them feel heard, support them, right? Because not only are you lifting people up, guess what? They're going to do the same. Usually, some people will do the same in return. Don't get butthurt if they don't, right? Some will do it in return, some won't. That's okay. But man, you're practicing making people feel seen, heard, and understood in the digital world. That's a powerful skill. It's an opportunity to both leave comments, sow goodwill out there, but also, man, you're practicing making people feel seen, heard, and understood. And I think it's not just about, in other words, another point that I'm making here is it's not just about what can I get from Jamie. I look at Jamie and I say, hey, this is another person that I can lift up. I can focus on lifting up, right? How can I add value to Jamie's life? And I'm trying to add value right now to it, because what she just added value for an hour here. And what I want is I want us to support her. And in return, us to support each other. But hopefully that is a shift in perspective for some of us who think that, you know, in the beginning, there's no way that I can begin to add value. And even worse, that if I'm doing things like this, they're not good uses of my time. They are. They are good uses of your time. What's not a good use of your time is dwelling, being indecisive, or only focusing on what others can give to you. This is a business, and being an entrepreneur is about adding value to other people's lives. And you got to become a master at that. And the more that you can add value to other people's lives, the more money you will make. And that scales when you can do that on a scalable basis. So you get in front of more people, right? More followers, etc. Bigger list. So, okay. All right, my friends. We'll wrap up with that really powerful episode today. Looking forward to seeing those of you who are coming to Orlando this weekend. We're going to still go live every single day. Wake Up Legendary Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then also Monday, I'll go live from the mansion where we're hosting the event both Friday and Monday morning once it's over. So make sure you tune in because I'll have some unique thoughts about that. All right, get out of here. Be legendary. Have a fantastic day. Thanks, Jamie, again. Really, really appreciate it. And get on out of here, everybody. See you all.